Hello and welcome everyone to our first video in our series of health and fitness. I have a guest who's presenting this part, Elton Davids. He's a sports specialist. He will introduce himself in his section, and I am very happy to inform you that we will be having a few of these sessions in the near future. Alton is speaking about the importance of organized sport activity in your everyday life, and also how it affects your everyday life. Like, you must make part your sports, exercise, etc. part of maybe a weekly program, a monthly program, but that will affect your daily life, and that is how he's going to introduce that. He speaks about cholesterol, and we know quite a few of the foods that we eat contain cholesterol, which is not a bad thing. Cholesterol actually helps to maintain our blood vessels, but if we don't exercise, our blood doesn't flow fast enough, that cholesterol can cause some problems, and Elton will elaborate on that. We welcome Elton to present this section.
Good day, my name is Elton and I'm the owner of All My Sports SA. Today I'd like to talk about cardiovascular health. Do you know that cardiovascular health is about the heart and lungs? Cardio meaning heart, vascular meaning blood circulations, and system obviously relates to the entire system. One needs to take into account that your basic heart rate, or your resting heart rate as most people would call it, is an indication of how well your heart and lungs system operates. If you take your resting heart rate for 10 seconds, either in your neck or radially on your arm in line with your thumb, for 10 seconds, multiply that by 6, it will give you a resting heart rate. The average person's heart rate is between 60 to 80 beats per minute. So your 10 times 6 will give you that number. And obviously the lower the number, the fitter and healthier you are from a cardiovascular system. So you may ask, how do you get your cardiovascular system to be better? Well, there's a range of ways. One, through regular exercise. And for many of us, regular exercise is walking or doing something strenuous for more than 45 minutes where you're slightly out of breath. And you do that 3 to 4 times a week. Ideally, if you're just starting out, it should be slow. And you do 3-4 minutes at a time, rest, and then you gradually build up as you go along. There's a thing called cholesterol, which many of you have heard of. Let me give you a simple explanation of cholesterol. Imagine a hosepipe, and in the inside of a hosepipe is a lot of gunk. And the more gunk is in that hosepipe, the more effort it is for water to flow through. That is cholesterol. And there's many ways that you can Google and find out how to reduce your cholesterol or not get cholesterol in the first place. Because remember, the more pressure that's in that pipe that you're placing on there, the more pressure is on your heart. And invariably your heart will give in. And as a result of that, you may have a heart attack, you may have a stroke. Okay? So basically, from a cardiovascular perspective, you need to engage lungs, heart, and muscles. So let's talk a bit about the muscles. When you were younger, you did sport, and sport taught you fine and what they call fine and gross motor skills. Fine motor skills is picking up a pen and writing with a pen, fine movements. Gross motor skills is waving your arms and doing all kinds of big movements. That's gross motor skills. Many of us need to fix or make sure that we have proper posture to ensure that we're able to write properly and be able to sit at our desk properly, sit in the car, and all of those kinds of things. And to do that, we need to ensure that our chest is back into the backrest, push your lower back into the back of the seat, and sit up straight. Number one. Number two, we need to ensure that we work the entire body when we exercise. Number three, the other challenge that most people face these days is what is called depth perception. So if you look at people who drive cars or even pedestrians these days, because there was a lack of sport in their formative years, they now battle to see how fast or how close objects and people are. And that, in my personal view, is one of the reasons why there are so many car accidents. Because people battle to judge the speed, judge the distance. So in order to manage that, way to do it is throw a tennis ball against the wall, slowly get the distance and catch. You're doing gross, fine, and depth perception, all three rolled into one. The further you move from the wall and the harder you throw the ball, the more fine and the gross motor skills you need to be thinking of. Lastly, when you think about exercise, find an accountability partner. Find someone who can walk with you, talk with you, make the exercise easier. But more importantly, know that there'll be someone there on that corner waiting for you to do the exercise with you. Thank you for watching. My name is Elton. Ciao.
We thank Elton for his lucid explanation of how exercise influences our daily lives, and I hope we're going to be able to implement that in our program, in our everyday program. Thank you so much for watching. Until we see you in the next video again, keep well, stay safe, ciao.